Yeah, so, well, at the end, I think Gruber was being eaten up by Sears, and these places started selling barbells.
You put that in your tread or something, that was some, and that something about Turpak.
Yeah, well, you know, he was getting up there in age, Gruber, and he was doing well, I thought, because I used to take the money to the bank and make the deposit, but at the end, I don't know. You know, that place was a fire truck. Fire truck. Yeah. If I had a photo of that, people would not believe, because it was just looked like a rummage sale.
When you went in there, it was not.
Oh, was it just junk up to the ceiling? Oh, you know, his wife Seal would be hiding in the back behind a stack of old boxes. You know, you hear a voice come out from behind the boxes. What do you want? But wasn't Norba senior national champion in about 1940 or something? Thought he won the featherweight class.
I think he might have been the junior national champion.
Okay.
One year in the 132 pound.
Yeah, featherweight. You know, I spent a lot of time on Google looking for anything about him. He is almost invisible. You know, there's one picture on the whole internet that I find where he's standing with Szymanski and from late 50s, and you know, he was off. You know, of course that was before the internet, and nothing ever got posted. So maybe this will help, you know, fill in the blanks a little bit. And then Sergio Oliva worked there. You know, he wasn't there during my time, and I'm trying to think, maybe it was 67 and 8, because I was there 68 and 69. And I think Stan Garajczyk worked for him also.
Everybody worked for him there except me.
Yeah.
And I even considered it because I remember trying to remember that, you know, Jimmy Parks worked for him.
Yeah, Jimmy Parks worked there.
Huska. Didn't Huska work there too? Yeah.
That's Sergio.
Sergio
Oliva was there. Yeah. Got into a fist fight in the place.
He would give all the broke bodybuilders a job there. And and I think one summer or something, I said, you know, I saw that he was doing this, and I was considering I asked him something about it, and I hesitate because you're putting it down there that I wanted $2 an hour for something. He says, well,
yeah.
But I might be having it confused because in 1955, when I won the junior nationals in Florida, and I just got out of the service, Turpak approached me, and he was talking about going with York and stuff. I said, well, I make $1. He asked me what I made. I made $1.95 an hour at that American something.
But that's when money was money.
Yeah, well, this is 1955, and he sort of looked at me and says, well, we can't pay you that much. You know, something. And I hesitate to tell these stories because
well, we got to clean them up a little.
No, I think it's brilliant. It's a historical reference.
Yeah, but
when you're looking at a guy like Gruber, who I shouldn't call it Gruber, Mr. Gruber. He was a politician. He was all of the administrative deal with all
promoter
the problems.
Yeah.
You know, like I can remember my first wife going up to him after I won the novice Illinois or something, and she said I was the best. I should have won the whole instead of giving me it. And Gruber was satisfying her to calm her down.
Yeah, well,
you're so sweet, honey.
Well,
but look at the wives that were involved with it.
He was like you and Emmerich.
The politician.
And Gruber.
The tete-a-tete. Yeah, agree.
Say, Al, you touched upon the fist fight you were mentioning. Say a few words.
Sergio got into a fight with one of the guys that was working in bodybuilder sports shop over the TV, and they kept going back and forth about changing the channel. And back then you didn't have a remote, so the guy would get up and actually change the channel. Well, Sergio had enough of it. He cold cocked the guy. So next thing you know, the fight was on. And needless to say, fighting Sergio is not a good idea. He absolutely beat the piss out of this little Rican.
Yeah. Well, that's the Bob Dreyfus was there.
Yeah,
I got a good one, kind of profiling Norm, because I like to call him Norm, because he was a godfather, Jewish godfather, a Christian kid. And he could even explain that to you politically. But one day I walked into the store and he had a jar of Irvin Johnson's Lucro, was a liver supplement. And this, at the time, you talk about money. At the time, I remember $40 for a bottle of that stuff. So I said to him, this is like 3/4 or 2/3 filled, you know, and I just learned the probability and all this other stuff. And he said, so what he said to me was he poured it on the counter, on his dirty, filthy counter, and had me count each pill, charge me per pill. And I walked out and bought
Norm.
it. And I was like, I just had a lesson in life.
Oh my God. That's why we love Norm. He was an original.
Well, they had that desiccated liver or
Yeah,
something.
yeah.
And I remember at Duncan there, working out with Grapaldi, and he was about 19. He was just a teenager. And he gave me a bunch of this, and he wanted to take 25 at a time.
That was my formula.
And I used to throw up. And see, and that's what Grapaldi thought that was so funny.
Yeah, well, how many times have you guys been doing bench presses and they shoot the pill out and hit the spot? That's where it really gets funny.
See why we have these lunches, Joe Rourke and Iron History?
Bodybuilding thing at the time. That was back to Irvin Johnson or Rio Blair. Did you have any experience with him?
I had a lot of experience with him, but I can't tell you.
Well, I could guess. I could guess.
No, he was.
Well, he said you were supposed to.
Bob Cummings, you're old enough to remember.
Yeah, I remember it.
He used to come
Yeah.
in.
Yeah.
And Herb Johnson was in a physique contest when Mr. Tavern had a television, and for the talent he sang.
This is yours.
Toreador. I
He was a
remember him
trained
doing that one
And
time.
he'd go in there. Ah.
Okay, the food's here to be continued.
That was good. You got a nice clip there, I'm thinking.